Were there spirits in Death Row Alley? Did Firebug want to blaze it? And what were those glowing eyes we caught on camera? Grab a snack and help us unpack all that and more. It's time for Ghost Files Debrief! Thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Bergara, and that thing over there is my colleague Shane Madej. Shane.
That's right. Each week here on Debrief, we're going to be looking back at our most compelling evidence, behind-the-scenes moments, and we'll be answering your burning questions.
Now let's get back into the Missouri State Penitentiary debrief.
Nice to go to prison again.
No, to investigate a prison is probably a better way to say
nice
that.
To investigate another prison.
We've never been incarcerated.
Actually, an episode that we shot last season at the very tail end.
That's true. We actually did shoot this at the tail end of season 1. This was about a year ago?
We just happened to be going to Missouri, and then they were like, you know, we got a prison here too.
So we actually did Hobo Hill House. That was the season 1 finale. And then at the end of that trip, we just shot another episode to bank for season 2. That's why Blaine is still a thing.
Blonde Shane was in his element there.
That's right. And now your hair is very tall. It's the tallest I've ever seen your hair.
Is it really tall?
Very Johnny Bravo.
I've been shrieking a lot lately from all the ghosts I've been seeing. All this great evidence I've been seeing that's so scary and compelling.
Well, you said it, not me.
Yeah.
Speaking of evidence, let's get into the evidence from Missouri State Penitentiary. A lot of you folks out there talking about those glowing eyes on the static, so let's start with that.
It's a cat.
Or
a raccoon.
Or it's that ghost dog. What appears to be 2 glowing eyes, and they're moving.
I saw comments online of people being like, this throws into question the integrity of every piece of evidence they've ever put past us. The fact that Ryan would look at that and be like, maybe that's a ghost when it's clearly an animal.
Well, there's a ghost dog, and a dog's an animal.
Was the ghost dog that big?
I mean, I have a
dog. It was a little yappy dog that they were terrified of.
That's how big my little Dory is.
Yeah. If it's a ghost dog, you imagine like a big hellhound, you know?
Well, if this ghost dog is in fact a ghost dog and not a demon like the people there suspect it is, it could be whatever form it is. We've seen demons be little girls with pigtails. Maybe it's a tiny little dog. Maybe it was a cat.
You're not going to concede on this one? Because I think that's embarrassing. Honestly.
Well, here's the thing. The eyes come towards the camera and then they turn left, and that left that they take is the staircase down to where the ghost dog is.
I saw Bergaras in the comments who were like, is he kidding me?
I'm not going to capitulate to that. I think what we have here is we're looking for a ghost dog. And we see small dog-like eyes going in the direction, going down the stairs to the ghost dog.
I mean, I gotta say, I'm thrilled that you're not buckling on this, because it's not a great look, man.
I don't buckle, I just bend.
And this one, I think you're bending over.
Nah, dude, I never bend over. Let's move on to Death Row. A lot of banging noises down there. I heard some on my solo. There were some caught on the static cam. And we heard some whispering down there, so I would say that's a pretty active area. Pretty happy with what we got down there.
You know, it's really exciting stuff. I really want to believe, and this ain't it, Chief. That's a 0 out of 10.
A 0 out of 10?
Yeah.
For the banging heard and the whispers heard in Death Row?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know what to say to you, man. I don't understand how that's a 0.
We can have my rating scale. It'll be on the episodes from now. It's just in terms of how compelling they are.
Yeah.
That's a 0 out of 10 for me.
Is there ever going to be anything that's above a 0?
Well, let's see.
But we did catch some orbs down there. And look, I've said this a lot. I believe in ghosts. I do not believe in orbs. Most of the time, orbs are just dust or bugs. Though I have seen some people claim that a true orb is something that emits its own light and can be seen with just your eyes and you don't need a camera. We have not seen that yet.
If we saw a glowing orb emitting light, I would be excited.
That would be fucking cool.
I would be very excited.
Shane would try and eat it.
I would.
To be more powerful.
I would want to absorb. Probably good for your skin.
But anyways, just clearing that. We saw them. For all you orb hounds out there, have a blast.
Take a look. Feast your eyes.
That's
enjoy.
Right. Now here are some things that our eagle-eyed watchers out there have seen in the episode, things that we actually missed. So thank you for helping us gather even more evidence. So the first one comes from Bloodless Wolf, and here's what Bloodless Wolf says. For Debrief, there's some pretty clear EVPs in this episode. Either that or your crew are whispering while filming, which would be a huge no-no. Crew's not whispering, but thank you for reprimanding them if they were, because I would. Continuing on with Bloodless Wolf, there is a yes at 15:52, maybe answering Shane's question of was someone stabbed in the body. Can we play that?
Did you get stabbed in the body? If you got stabbed in the body, if you got stabbed, show up and do a little dance.
Pretty good EVP. I don't know how we missed this one, frankly. It's very clear. I would consider it almost class A. This is great. Then you have what sounds like front door or what door maybe one door at 42:31.
Holy shit. Now you sort of understand. Now you sort of understand why people would.
I would say this one for sure is me. It's not like the yes in that it's over both of our voices. I think I'm muttering something under my breath. I'm positive of it. So thank you very much for looking out for us, because you're all investigators out there, so us Bergaras have to stick together.
You are exactly as qualified as Ryan and me.
That's not true. It's not true at all.
Well,
we're the best ghost hunters in the biz.
That's true. And you all are as well. Our squad, our street team, you know?
You want to press the play button on this next one?
Oh, that would have been really nasty.
It would have been.
He wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do that. Anyways, moving on to the next piece of evidence. This is from Twitter. This comes from @RushLamania. Take a look at 58:36 of the video. In the death row cell, directly across the one Ryan exits, you caught your own shadow person. This is actually in building 4. This is not in death row. And that's important because in building 4, there was actually a cardboard cutout. Sonny Liston. There's a big cardboard cutout of Sonny Liston in building 4 because he stayed at this prison. We actually had that in the episode, but we cut it out because it was like, who gives a shit? But in particular, this is helpful for now because we do know there's that cardboard cutout. I'm pretty sure that's the cardboard cutout. If it's not and my geography is off, then maybe it's a shadow person.
Can we check with the people at the prison? It would be good to have them maybe send us, an image from the cell across from that to see if it is in fact.
Are you saying that we need a debrief for a debrief?
I think we may.
It might be a shadow man. I've posited that it was the cardboard cutout of Sonny Liston, but if I'm wrong, I'm still right, if that makes sense, because the ghosts are real.
Great.
Well, thank you to all you eagle-eyed watchers out there for catching that evidence. Let's move on to Qua.
Here's one from Freelance Ghost on Instagram. Ryan and Shane, did you guys later realize the connection between the Ovilasync mattress, Blaze, and the inmate called Firebug Johnson who tried to burn the prison down? We've been on the road taking this episode around.
For Ghost Files Live, you're talking.
For Ghost Files Live, which you can still maybe see, especially if you live in Las Vegas. But we've had our asses handed to us about this from the audience.
Not making the connection between mattress and Blaze.
Did not make the connection at all. I know at the time I do in the episode call you crazy for not being freaked out about the fact that you approach a mattress.
Yeah.
And then the woman in the machine says, mattress.
But then also Blaze.
Now, even I didn't put that together. But also, I'm barely paying attention on these shoots. So I've got an excuse.
I don't know if Firebug Johnson stayed in that cell, though, is the thing. However, he was in the prison. He did try and set the building on fire multiple times. And after Mattress and Blaze, we did get material. It's possible he's giving us a cookbook to how to cook a prison.
That's
and
right.
we didn't do it.
Why don't we take a look at another question?
Ella New Comment. For Debrief, the evidence of the FBA in the hallway, Mr. Tommy Buhama. The guy genuinely looks like he's wearing one of those camera rigs that all wear on investigations. He looks like he's facing away and you could see the elastic straps of his rig crisscrossing his back. Gonna play it safe and say it's just another ghost investigator.
Interesting.
Hashtag Shaniac. I don't think you needed to include the hashtag Shaniac at the end.
I'll tell you what. Wouldn't it be funny if it was a ghost investigator who died there?
And we're
then
just
we saw
seeing
their ghost.
We're seeing a ghost of a ghost investigator.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun. Maybe one day that'll be us.
That'd be cool.
What if we actually were seeing us?
Oh!
Kind of like a Haunting
yeah.
of Hill House thing, like where you kind of go back through time.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I can't think of anything more haunting than seeing a full-bodied apparition wearing a fucking helmet
That'd be very
with an
scary.
arm sticking out of it.
Yeah.
It'd be the scariest thing you've ever seen.
Or the dorkiest. Let's go to another question here. We have more people making fun of you for seeing a cat.
It's a dog, people. I think it's a dog.
From
gonna
Twitter,
take it into
Sean,
the grave.
Too old to care, 71, says, will you set up more static cams? That's a very blunt question.
Possibly. We set up 2, which is already quite the load to handle for our post team and also our investigating later. We have to kind of bridge the gap sometimes between what we want to do in an investigation and what we're capable of doing. And appreciate you for understanding that. Or maybe you won't, and you'll ask this question every debrief, and we could just do this every time.
And we invite you to do that. Here's a good one from Instagram that I think we do need to address because I'm curious about your thoughts on it from Dana Voss. Do you think the light flashing at the beginning of the episode was Morse code for SOS?
I think so, yeah.
I can't remember, were you actually freaked out about that at the time, or were you just like, oh, this flashlight sucks?
Well, I was like, I'm not really sure what's going on with the flashlight. We did put batteries in it, which made no sense of why it was doing that.
Can you see it doing the
Yeah, and I think either of us just weren't aware that flashlight had that capability.
Yeah.
Because you had mentioned, you said in the episode it has a strobe function, but it doesn't look like that. And
Right.
it's because there's
Cool that it has an SOS function.
No, I guess that is cool.
That's
if I was
nice.
stranded in like an island, like an
Yeah.
island of the dolls, if
Sure.
you will, SOS would be quite helpful, actually.
Yeah.
So now, we may be idiots, but at least we learned something.
What if the ghost was asking for help?
I like that. From @AngelTeeth, after a little Googling, the only person to be listed on the execution record for thievery in Missouri State Penitentiary, thank you for looking it up,
Cool.
was a man named William Edward Talbert. He tried to steal a truck with a few other people and was executed on November 16th, 1945. Executed for stealing a truck is harsh. When we were reaching out to ghosts in the dungeon, the flashlight turned on and off signified that they were there for thievery.
Well, that's sad.
And William Edward Talbert is perhaps the person that we were reaching out to.
Okay. What a fun fact. Thanks for telling us that one.
It's just corroborating the fact that there was somebody there who died on account of thievery.
Okay, very good. One last question to close us out here.
Let's go to YouTube, TubeTown, for the last question here. Sophia Rocha 6300. For debrief, how do you decide what tools to use in each room? Or do you use several and then choose which one stays in the video? So it's a combination of both of those things. If there is, for instance, a room like Fast Jack's hallway, it makes sense to have a REM pod device that would, is a proximity kind of detector. And if there's a room where there's a bunch of EVPs heard, then it makes more sense to go lean more towards auditory kind of tools, I suppose. Like the Spirit Box or like just our audio recorder or even the Ovilus. So we kind of factor that in to when we're looking at how we're going to investigate each room. However, we do use a shitload of tools in each room, and then we end up cutting out the ones that weren't as responsive, and we keep in the video the ones that were responsive because we all know we get loads and loads of evidence in these episodes sometimes. And sometimes we don't, and that's okay.
We're not gonna force feed you a pile of shit and call it fudge.
Well, that wraps it up for this edition of Ghost Files Debrief. Thank you guys for watching the season premiere of Ghost Files and the season premiere of this debrief. Remember to submit your questions for the next episode on Patreon, YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram.
And again, if you'd like more behind the scenes content and to see Ghost Files episodes early, consider becoming a member of our Patreon community over at patreon.com/watcher.
Solid ep.
Solid app.
Solid first
Rip.
investigation.
Yeah. And more to come.
That's right.
Oh.
We'll see you guys next week.
Oh.